leader?
Servant leader is somebody who honestly wants the person in their chapter or in their community to be more successful than they can possibly be. Well, a really great way that I think that makes servant leaders successful is they are constantly thinking not of how they can be successful themselves or how they can, increase their prowess, but how they can help other people be more successful. So just thinking that ideal of how can I make someone else more successful makes a successful servant leader. I have a vice president of social development, and he's struggling with connecting with his task force because there's just a little bit of a miscommunication, a little bit of, feelings that are coming to the table, and I am asking myself, how can I be successful for him? So I ask him, have you asked them their opinion? Have you asked them what they need from you? And having that conversation with him, he brought that back to his own committee meeting, and he was better able to communicate with them by asking them how they felt about certain programs, certain initiatives that we were thinking about implementing, and through that conversation, their task force was more successful in providing those programs to the fraternity and the university. I believe in coaching more than anything. My motto is coercion never got anyone anything. Coercion creates terrible, political manifestations, and it is not successful for groups to, move along to be successful. Coaching is probably at the core of servant leadership. It's Socratic. You have a dialogue. You arrive at truth together. You don't merely have, someone else tell someone else what to do. Because that's not how we learn. Even in teaching, even in academia, if you have a professor that just says these are the facts and this is why, that's not as successful as he says these are the facts that we have discovered so far. What do you think about that? Especially in literature or history, it's not so much about the facts, it's the process that we go through to arrive at the facts. It's not so much the destination, but the journey that we have together. I had a high school teacher who taught AP US history, and he taught US history. It was a hard class, lots of notes, lots of tests. But the thing that was most important for me for that class was here's the test, here's the material. What do you think about it? It wasn't so much in 1776 what happened. It was like, here's what happened in 1776. What do you think the implications of that were? It's all about, to me, servant leadership is more about critical thinking and dialogue than it is directions. And that's what my high school teacher imparted to me when I took that class. I would leave them in, for executives or anyone who's working on a program within the fraternity, and they have an opinion that does not mesh with yours, or you have a directive that's just not working out, and it's and it's an opinion that's going through the house or going through the meeting hall, and you don't necessarily agree with it, and you think that it should be something else. Don't simply tell them you're wrong and here's why. Ask them, why do you think that way? And don't ask it in a sarcastic way, or don't ask it like, well, why do you think that? You should ask it in a way where it's, you honestly want to know why they think that way. Because when we ask each other why we feel the way that we do, we're able to be more compassionate to others.